What is economics? A lot of people, when they hear the word economics, they think about money and they think economics deals with money. And while that is true, that's not all economics deals with. Economics is more than just money. It's about how we live our lives and the choices that we make. Now, if you look at the official definition of economics, you would say that economics is the study of how scarce, which means limited, resources are used to satisfy human wants. What that means is it's all about choices. There is a limited amount of stuff on this earth, and there's not enough stuff to make everybody happy. So people have to choose what they want to spend their money on or what they want to spend their time getting. It's all about choices. Economics looks at these choices and it looks at the consequences of using the resources to satisfy these choices. And it also looks at the cause and effect of choices, how your choices, what you choose to go after and buy or get for yourself, can affect other people and their resources as well. Economics can study large units or small units. When economics looks at large units, it's called macroeconomics. And when economics looks at small units, it's called microeconomics. So economics can study individuals, groups. You can look at an age group, an ethnic group, a religious group, any kind of group you want to look at. It also deals with businesses. You can go bigger and you can study whole countries, the economy of a whole country. And then you can also study the world. You can look at the global economy. Economics can look at very large units or very small units. Now, in economics, there are various terms that you need to know because they will pop up throughout the course. And it's basic things that you just need to understand the rest of economics. Two of those terms are need and want. Choices usually involve either a need or a want, or sometimes both. A need is something that a person must have to survive. You must have it to survive. You can't live without it. So our basic examples of needs are pretty simple. You've got food, water, shelter, basic clothing. Those would be needs. You can't live without them. And then a want is something that a person desires, but they don't have to have for survival. They can technically live without it. So we're talking about things like laptops and makeup and cell phones and video games and cars, anything that technically you don't have to have to survive. Now, some people say, oh, wouldn't a car be a need? Because you need it to go places and you'd have to walk everywhere. Well, can you survive without a car? If you were left in the woods somewhere, would you really need a car to survive? No, you wouldn't. You need your food, your clothing, and your shelter, but you don't have to have a car to survive. Yes, it's going to be inconvenient, but it's not something that you have to have. Needs and wants are broken down even further into two categories. You've got goods and services. Goods are physical objects. They're things that you can buy. Food, clothing, and if you look at it from a business standpoint, a restaurant owner is going to have to buy chairs and tables and things like that. Pens, pencils, cars, anything that you can buy physically, you can put your hands on, is going to be a good. The other thing you have is a service. A service is some action that someone does for someone else. It's something that someone does to help someone else. For example, a doctor healing a patient. That's going to be a service because the doctor uses the knowledge that they have and their ability to, go in and diagnose a patient to help them. Also, a cosmetologist cutting hair, a fast food worker serving food, something that someone does for you that you pay them in return, that would be a service. In some places, you have goods and services. If you go to McDonald's, for example, and you're going through the drive-thru, you order, a value meal, and you get to the window. Well, your goods would be your hamburger, your fries, your drink. And then your services would be the fact that they cooked it for you. They wrapped it up, they put it in a bag, they handed it to you, and they took your money. That's going to be the service. So some places you're going to have goods and services.